up, everybody? So, by few hours, I mean like at least 4. But, while after the last video on the pearling, and all the plants are pearling, still pearling, but now these two smaller swords started pearling, and, if you compare this leaf to what it looked like in the last video, there were a lot more bubbles, but not the point. The point is that they're all still pearling like crazy, even this tiny little runner. I personally love swords. Any plant that's pearling just shows that they're nice, healthy, and they're getting enough CO2. It also shows that there's enough oxygen in the water, because if you read about pearling in the aquarium, it's that it's not necessarily you need to have a whole bunch of CO2. It's the fact that you have to have extremely high oxygen levels and extremely high CO2 levels. So basically, half and half, or actually more like 75% oxygen, and the rest is whatever, then maybe 20% CO2, and then the rest of the carbon and stuff. But if you can put in as much CO2 in the water as you want and not get your plants to pearl, it's because there's not enough oxygen in the water. I know that may sound really weird, but the thing is, you only get to see the bubbles from the oxygen-producing leaves when there's too much CO2 or too much oxygen in the water, which basically means that let's just say there's so much oxygen in the water that the oxygen that's being produced by the plants has nowhere to go but to turn into a bubble and then rise and disperse into the atmosphere. So basically that's what's happening when your plants start pearling. So you definitely need nice surface agitation and lots of CO2 in your water still, with also lots of oxygen. Easiest way to get your plants to pearl is not have any fish in it. Do humongous water changes. Use acid buffer and Seachem XL. I haven't actually used it and got my plants to pearl yet, but I just dosed it because just to see if it'll enhance the pearling. But definitely stuff you'll need to get your plants to pearl the easiest way. With fish, it's a lot harder. You still want to do maybe at least, or at most 50%, but at least 40% of your water. Make half of the water you use. So if you did 50% water change, use 25%, or if you did a 40% water change, do 20% of use Seachem Prime, practically only Seachem Prime, and then Seachem Prime and acid buffer, which is also Seachem, but definitely use that, but only for half of it, because half of it will get, or depending on how low pH you need for your fish, like some people need 5.0, some people need 7.0, depending on what fish you use, and what the starting pH level of your water is. The amounts that you use will vary, but definitely use that for half of the amount of water changed, and you should get your plants to pearl. Also, have a lot of surface agitation. I'm just gonna fill this tank up a little bit tomorrow, just because it's right below the black lining, and I just like it to have. I just like the clean effect, because without a rim and without a top in this light, it just looks a lot better when it's completely leveled off. So that's it. Except for one more thing. Sorry. The weirdest thing is the crypts are the only plant not pearling. I mean, yeah, the Kabomba too, but the Kabomba's just a weird plant when it comes to pearling. But Crypts aren't pearling, or not as nearly as much, or I haven't seen it. And all the stem plants are pearling except for the Kabomba. And one last thing. There's this weird thing in the water. It's part of the silver plant. See that weird little branch thing right there? It looks like a budding flower. It actually might be a new leaf coming out, but new leaves start at the base and they look like a leaf. So I might actually be getting a flower out of this plant sometime soon, or another runner. Yeah, that would be awesome. Except it doesn't look like a runner. So hopefully it's a flower or a runner, and hopefully not it's something bad. See ya.